the Sixers, who were flat out awful last night and find themselves one loss away from the process, taking a huge step in the wrong direction. Plus, is this the last night we will see Kyrie Irving in a Celtics uniform? We'll ask Charles Barkley when he joins us live in 30 minutes. And once and for all, do the Cowboys need to pay that man right now? I'll tell you why. It might just be a huge mistake if they do. All that and more as we get up with you starting right now. Here we go. Jalen is ready.
Yes,
and the
indeed.
big swagoo. This is going to be an interesting day because we are about to have our first fight.
I can tell.
You know,
It's been too much love.
We've been in a nice relationship
No doubt.
here for about
No
a year.
doubt. Yep.
But I'm telling you right now, we're about to see if it can withstand our first fight. That's on the way. But we begin with a team that didn't put up much of one last night at all.
What you did there.
Jalen, game of the night? Maybe not. Sixers, Raptors, game 5. Joel Embiid just walking in the door. How's he look?
He looked like he didn't want no problems with the Raptors. None at all. He struggled against them the entire season.
Yeah, he wouldn't cause them any last night, that's for sure. Again, Embiid, he's sick, he's playing sick. There's a lot of talk about him being sick, and candidly, he's just turning it over, and the Raptors are turning defense into offense. There's Kawhi easily with the jam. Raptors up 4. Second quarter is where they just ran away and hit. Again, Embiid with a turnover, and the Raptors are off to the races.
Kawhi Leonard does the best job in the NBA to me converting from defense to offense, and here he goes with the assists up top to Marc Gasol, who's been terrific this series.
And again, that is the picture, or maybe this is the picture that would summarize the night for the Sixers. Under a minute to go in the half. Another miss. It's a 16-point game. Danny Green, yes. Look at Drake. This is the only thing that didn't go right. You're looking for a high five?
What had happened was...
How do you leave Drake hanging? Time winding down.
Look
at Kawhi Leonard. He's just up. The Raptors lead it by 21 points at halftime. And the question is, would it get closer? And the answer is
no.
That's exactly right. Third quarter, it's a 21-point game, and Ben Simmons doing what he does best, turning it over. And here we go, the other way. Gasol, the outlet. Siakam. Look at the fans outside in Jurassic Park. They love it.
That's a terrific scene. T-Dot, stand up.
They're going crazy, and here's, again, Kawhi.
Oh!
He didn't have a huge night because he didn't.
That's how you rock the baby right there.
Right in the face of Joel Embiid. Raptors by 22 after 3. Fourth quarter, you know what's going well when Kyle Lowry is drilling outside shots.
Heat check. Kyle Lowry found a way to get himself going the last 2 games. Greeny ended up with 19.
Hit a tough 3. That one basically sealed it as though it needed to be sealed. There's Embiid going out of the game. And look, Drake is trolling him there, doing that flying thing. 13 points, 8 turnovers for Joel Embiid. It was a brutal night. Raptors win and take control. 125-89.
He sucks. I know I got to do a better job for us to win. I got to do the little things. When I'm needed to score the ball, I got to show up.
It just wasn't there. Offense wasn't there. Defense wasn't there. We were terrible tonight.
I think we laid an egg. No other way to put it. I mean, hell, if I was a coach, I wouldn't even show the film. Just move on. We got our ass kicked. Simple as that. No other way to put it. We know what we have to do, and so we got to go do it at home.
Okay, so the Raptors win by 36. That's the 3rd largest margin of victory in a best-of-7 series, tied at 2. The only teams to win by more were the 09 Lakers and the 16 Cavs. Both of them went on to win the series. So history at this point is not on Philly's side, and neither is momentum, and neither is the body language and the facial expression and the health. So I'm just, what? I mean, what do we say about Joel Embiid right now?
First and foremost, he struggled basically against the Toronto Raptors the entire year. He's had more turnovers than assists against them. Okay, so it's not just this playoff series. But he's been flat out awful in 4 of the games. Now, in the one game he got off, like Drake just alluded to, he did a lot of front running. I broke this down on NBA Countdown. He made 9 baskets that game, Greeny. He celebrated after 5 of them. Okay, he did the Hulk Hogan to the ear. He did the airplane. He did the shimmy. He was feeling himself. But the Toronto Raptors took that personal, kind of like Dame Lillard did with OKC. And they showed that to their team. And they made sure that he wasn't going to do that again. Marc Gasol did a terrific job of defending him and knocking down threes. Serge Ibaka is the primary defender. Pascal Siakam made him work when he was guarding him offensively. Joel Embiid had 8 turnovers. You can't have your all-NBA performer not show up in the biggest games of the year.
Listen, Joel Embiid is a guy who, before this season began, in full, exposing myself here, I picked him to be the MVP of the league because I thought he was ready to take that next step. But from a maturity standpoint, whenever things go badly, he's got a lot to complain about. When he's not getting the ball enough, he's got a lot to complain about. When things are going well, to your point, he's dancing and he's having a very good time. Is that a guy, that personality, a guy you can build a championship team around?
That personality is a guy you can build a team around, but the fact that he's not always available makes me feel like you can't necessarily build around him. And the reason why he won't be MVP is because he won't play 75 games. Like, you got to be available during the regular season to win MVP. Last year in the playoffs, he missed 2 games. This year in the playoffs, he missed a game. In game 1, we were talking about his knee. In game 2, we were talking about his stomach. In game 4, we were talking about him being sick. Yesterday, we were talking about his illness. So people get sick. It happens. However, it's happening at the biggest time of the year when his squad needs him the most.
Is this a referendum on the process as we speak right now and going forward?
Absolutely it is, because if you think about it, your 2 best players have distinct flaws. I just talked about Joel Embiid and his lack of health and his injury concerns, and then Ben Simmons won't shoot the basketball outside of the paint. Again, I didn't say can't shoot the basketball outside of the paint. I said won't. He's been playing basketball his entire life. For somebody to get to the NBA and won't take an attempt outside of the paint, and he plays point guard, it hampers your offense. It creates an anchor next to your big guy, Joel Embiid, because he doesn't create space.
So what does that mean? What are Embiid and Simmons going forward? They're supposed to be the cornerstones of the franchise. Where does it go?
I think what they should be trying to do is beg Jimmy Butler to stay. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what they should be trying to do. Tobias Harris has not showed up big time in this series as well. But I don't believe, based on the process, they're going to be championship ready with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons as their 2 best players anymore.
When you say that Ben Simmons won't shoot from outside the paint, I assume it's because he knows he can't shoot from outside the paint. Should he be taking these shots?
It's all about confidence. He's been playing basketball his entire life.
But you're the one who told me he's shooting with the wrong hand.
Correct. I said that on the night that he got drafted.
Yeah.
And so just think about this, Greeny. Here's a guy that's so very talented. Ben Simmons can dribble, he can defend, he can finish at the hoop. But as a primary ball handler, at some point you got to make a shot outside of the paint. Have you ever seen a player not shoot the basketball outside of the paint?
No.
That plays on the perimeter? I have never seen this take place.
No.
So therefore, when he's on the baseline and Joel Embiid is trying to post up, that creates a double team situation every time.
So I guess what we're leading to here is the question. If the process is ever going to get to its ultimate destination, which is a championship,
right,
is Ben Simmons going to be the point guard on that team?
No. I feel like if you're going to decide to build around Joel Embiid, that means trading Ben Simmons. I don't think
say that again. Trading Ben Simmons.
Yes. I think if you're going to decide to build around Joel Embiid, you have to trade Ben Simmons. Those are the 2 pillars of your team, okay? Ben Simmons won't shoot the ball outside of the paint, and he can't make free throws. When the playoffs come and the game slows down, you want Joel Embiid in the post, not at the 3-point line. If Ben Simmons is on the baseline in the dunk spot, there's really no true room to operate and for them to maximize their potential.
So when it was said last week, I think it was Jared Dudley, whoever it was that said it, I'm blanking for a moment on who it was. I think it was Dudley, yes, who said, you get into a half-court game, he's an average player. He's right?
Yes.
That's an accurate statement.
Yes, it is. I agree with what he said, and he was accurate. When you in broken floor situations, steals, blocks, deflections, long rebounds, you can't stop. He's an all-star player. But the playoffs are a different game. And when it's slow, if they were playing all pace and space with the floor open, then you couldn't stop him from getting to the bucket. But since they have an anchor down low in Joel Embiid, now him not being able to shoot becomes a factor, and it hurts their offense.
The process is in trouble. They need 2 wins or it's all over for at least this season. Meantime, we got the biggest